Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting us here tonight. Our journey has been a long one for some of us, longer than others in this race, as we try to set the stage, if you will, to say to you, look at us, discuss us, pick the best of what we have to offer, and then say we want you as an individual to represent us in this great land of the U.S. House of Representatives, where some 10,000 plus have served. Most, I might add, have done it very honorably. There are only a few that give politics such a bad name, but for most of us that get into this situation, we do it with the idea of making it better for you and your families. That's why we do it. It's been an honor to have this opportunity over the past several months to work and meet with Lou and my friend Darryl, that I love very much. Thank you for the magazine, the literature that you've given me, and for Hal as well, and for Lee. We have had the pleasure of meeting so many of you on this campaign trail. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. But you do it for a reason, because you think you can make life better. You think you can make it better for the people that you want to serve. When you look at Washington, 86% of the American people say it's broken. 70% plus said they would not use the word honor to describe their elected representative or senator. That's not good, folks. We have to do better. Could we quit? Could we just get up here and walk out? No, we're not ready to do that. You're not ready to do that. You're here tonight for a reason. You want to pick a candidate that can beat Larry Kissel, a man who has voted for every procedural rule that Nancy Pelosi has put in front of him, and then didn't have the courage to back that up and vote yes for health care. Did he think that you people were foolish and wouldn't realize what he did? He pulled a scam. He at least have the character, to stand up for what you believe in. You voted for every procedure to cut debate from the Republicans, to get it on the floor for a vote, and then you turned that little tail. You tucked it in and ran and said, I'm going to vote against it. Maybe they won't notice me back in the 8th District. Guess what, Larry? They did. They did, Larry. And you're going to pay the price, my friend, for just not being a stand-up guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he didn't stand up. He didn't show the character to stand up. We have a president right now that we're all wondering about. This president, remember what he did. He went to Saudi Arabia, and what did he do? He bowed to a king. He went to Japan, he bowed to a prime minister. This was a bow. He went to China and he bowed to a chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, it clearly states, presidential protocol states, the President of the United States shall never bow to a foreign leader. Huh? It's there. It's there. Folks, the bell's ringing, and for whom the bell tolls. I know what we're talking about. The bell tolls for the Democrats in Washington, folks, because they know it. And they see it coming in November. And that tsunami that we've just seen is coming again. Thank you very much. I'm Harold Johnson, folks. I would appreciate your vote very much. Thank you.
Energy independence is very important to maintain our national security. I think we'll all agree with that. What do you propose is our greatest resource here in America for obtaining this energy independence, and how would you go about achieving it if you're elected?
We have seen cowardly action taken by previous Congresses over the energy issue. Totally cowardly issues. Not attacking the issue from the standpoint of saying we must. We're one of the few countries in the world that does not use its natural resources. One of the very few in the world that doesn't. Where we sit with a great abundance of not only oil, natural gas as well. And the issue continues to be from the left and the environmentalists, but they'll come back to you and they'll just say, well, it's not safe. That's their line, and it's just preposterous that we allow them to get away with it. Every one of us in this room is an environmentalist. We want to save the planet for our children and our grandchildren. Of course we do. But we also know that we need that energy. We need it badly. Off our coast, research has shown that we have an abundance of natural gas and oil. The government is going to allow different states to explore just to see how much they have. Not begin drilling yet, but to see how much they have. Bob McDonnell was elected governor of Virginia a few months ago by stating and aggressively saying, I want to drill for oil off our coast. He's going to do it. South Carolina is going to do it. In North Carolina, Governor Bev Perdue has appointed another committee Oh, Bev, please get off the committee to look at the possibilities of doing this. Forget that. Those days are over. It's time to take action because, again, the government is not going to allow every state to drill. They will handpick where the gas and where the oil is, and it represents in leasing and also in revenue, it represents billions and billions of dollars. And again, with the oil rigs of today, how safe is it? They went through Katrina. They didn't collapse. Oil rigs are designed today that you can put them in the ocean and they can go for a radius of 50 miles and get every bit of oil. They're safe. Somebody said, Harold, I don't want to step into the ocean at Myrtle Beach and hit my head on an oil rig. I said, you won't see the oil rig. If you're hitting your head on that rig, you're way too far out. Way too far out. That's not going to happen. You can do this safely. We know they can drill underground for hundreds of miles and not disrupt a blade of grass or even a fish in the bottom of the ocean. My number one priority will be jobs in Washington. If you send me to Washington, that's going to be my number one priority, jobs for this 8th district, to get it back on its feet. My second job, most importantly, will be to scream at the top of my lungs, energy, energy, energy. We need energy. We need nuclear energy. China's going to build 90 nuclear plants over the next 20 years. India's going to build 20. Russia's going to build 50. Where do we stand? The President of the United States just kind of gave an off-the-cuff remark about, yeah, I'm in favor of nuclear. Nuclear's safe, it's clean, it reduces emissions. You get it all into one. We don't need a cap and trade. If you can go nuclear and get your electricity, get your power, what a great, great country and opportunity, meaning millions and millions of dollars and thousands of jobs. We have to move. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
This question comes from the audience, and I work in healthcare, so this is important to me. How can we get healthcare repealed, what Obama has done, and reinforce the Medicare for our seniors? I think maybe what they're asking is, yeah, what do we do about Obamacare?
What would you do about Obamacare?
Yeah, what would you do about it? I know what I'd like to do.
Oh, you be careful now. We're running for the office. Not yet. Your time will come. Well, when 65% of the American people say we don't like it, and you continue to push it and push it and push it, and Nancy Pelosi stands up there and gives you that hand, it's in your face. What she say? We're going to go under the fence, over the fence, and through the fence. She didn't realize a lot of people would like to put her in the fence, didn't she? But they passed it. And anything, when you look at the numbers, politics, policy, anything, is a numbers game. Anything over 50%, that's the plus side. Okay? Normally. When you get up to 65% and it's in the negative, from 65% saying they don't like something, how dare you proceed with it? How dare you have the arrogance to say, yes, we're going to do it. We don't care what you think or what you say. And just to have the feather in your cap to say it's finally done, and for Nancy Pelosi to say, we're just going to open the door now. What's going to be coming next? That was basically what her plan was and what she had in mind. To repeal this, you obviously have to have the numbers to do it. We can't go up there. If we don't take over the House, we have no chance whatsoever to repeal. If we can repeal, then we would look at this and just simply say, well, let's start over again. Republicans were totally shut out. They offered over 80 amendments, tried to. They were totally shut out and shut down. But when you look at more and more of this health care bill and what has happened here, I was talking to a lady, I guess one stop we made, and we were talking about hospice, and she said, I have a relative in hospice. We're all familiar with hospice. It's touched every one of our lives in one way or another. Millions and millions and millions of dollars has been cut from hospice in this health care bill. And I mentioned that to a woman. In fact, it was today. I saw a woman that worked for the American Cancer Society. We were talking about the health care bill, and she said, what do you think? She said, well, I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I said, are you aware about hospice? She said, what do you mean? I said, millions and millions of dollars are being cut from hospice. She said, I did not know that. And that's not good. No, it isn't good. Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars cut from senior care, Medicare as well. $1 trillion in new taxes. $1 trillion in new taxes. And are you going to tell me that healthcare is going to get better? Doctors are being given a credit or cash of $40,000 to change the systems that they have in their offices. They can directly link them to a government agency that can tell you and tell them everything about every bit about your medical history and our medical history. That's a fact, folks. That's a fact. Hopefully we'll have the numbers to change that. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Thank you.